Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Irdina binti Muhammad Syahir. Today, I am going to present a subtopic from community ecology which is niche concept. In this video, I am going to explain the difference between habitat and niche, the importance of ecological niche, the niche construction theory, and the types of ecological niche. The ecological niche describes how a species interacts within an ecosystem. The niche of a species depends on both biotic and abiotic factors, which affect the ability of a species to survive and endure. Biotic factors affecting a species' niche include food availability and predators. Abiotic factors affecting ecological niche include temperature, landscape characteristics, soil nutrients, light, and other non-living factors. Habitat and ecological niche differences. There are some important differences between species habitat and ecological niche. Habitat is the place in which organisms can live, as the conditions that present encourage growth, development, and reproduction. In addition, habitat is inhabited by different species at the same time, and space can be very large or small. This means that more than one ecological niche may exist within the habitat. Needs, on the contrary, are delimited depending on the number and the aspects that can affect a certain organism. It is usually formed by a group of variables that make that an organism can live and reproduce in a certain place using certain factors for it. Importance of ecological niches. Ecologists use the concept of the ecological niche to help understand how communities relate to environmental conditions, fitness, trait evolution, and predator-prey interactions in communities. This becomes ever more important as climate change affects community ecology. Ecological niches allow species to exist in their environment. Under the right conditions, the species will thrive and play a unique role. Niche construction theory. Ecologists more recently have focused on niche construction theory, which describe how organisms modify their environments to make them better suited as niche. Examples of this include making burrows, building nests, creating shade, building beaver dams, and other methods in which organisms alter their surroundings to suit their needs. Niche construction arose from biologist John Olin Smith, which argued that niche construction should be considered a process of evolution, a form of ecological inheritance passed on to descendants rather than a genetic inheritance. There are four core principles behind niche construction theory. First, one involves non-random modification of the environment by a species, helping aid their evolution. Second, the ecological inheritance alters the evolution due to parents passing on the altering skills to their offspring. Third, new characteristics that are adopted become evolutionarily significant. The environments are affected systematically. Fourth, what was considered adaptation is essentially the result of organisms making their environments more complementary via niche construction. The consequences of niche construction. As creatures construct new niches, they can have a significant effect on the world around them. An important consequence of niche construction is that it can affect the natural selection experienced by the species doing the constructing. As example, chick mimics the calls of multiple young chicks so that the parents are bringing in food not just for one offspring but a whole brood. Niche construction can also generate co-evolutionary interactions, as illustrated by earthworm, beaver, and yeast examples. The development of many organisms and the recurrence of traits across generations has been found to depend critically on the construction of developmental environments such as nests by ancestral organisms. Therefore, niche construction has important implications for understanding, managing, and conserving ecosystems. More examples of niche construction include nesting and burrowing animals, yeast that modify themselves to attract more fruit flies, and the modification of shells by hermit crabs. There are two types of niche, which is the first one, fundamental niche, and the second one is realized niche. Accordingly, the fundamental niche is a natural area where there are total requirements of a species to survive and then thrive. fundamental niche is therefore the maximum possible a species can have and utilize. Furthermore, this is a niche where the organisms do not have to worry about the limited nature of food resources or about predators. Hence, this niche provides its organisms with a comfortable environment in which the species can mate and reproduce without any stress. For instance, consider the life of raccoons in the forest. They get plenty of food in the form of bugs, fruits, and small creatures like insects for their energy requirements, and also they can easily hide from their predators. Hence, this is raccoon's fundamental niche. What is realized niche? Realized niche is a subset of this fundamental niche as it describes ecological conditions that are available and occupied by the species. Species will not find the fundamental niche since there are many factors affecting their habitats, such as the presence of predators, human activities on the environment, and etc. As example, when considering raccoons, they live in a realized niche because of many limiting factors such as industrialization, urbanization, and deforestation. They are forced to live in an urban environment where they have to feed upon waste and trash rather than insects and fruits that they prefer to eat when they were in their fundamental niche. Another example of fundamental and realized niche is an experiment studied by Joseph Cornell. Cattameles barnacles can live in both deep and shallow intertidal zones, which is fundamental niche. Competition from balleners forced cattameles to occupy smaller realized niche on higher, drier habitat. What are the similarities between fundamental and realized niche? Fundamental and realized niche are two types of functional units that refer to the conditions needed for the survival of a species and their roles in the ecosystem. Also, realized niche is a subset of a fundamental niche. Lesson summary: as you can see, an ecological niche is the way an organism fits into its environment. Every living thing has its own niche and is a crucial part in providing stability to its ecosystem. Without ecological niches, there would be less biodiversity and the ecosystem would not be in balance.